fastball from Scherzer. Max Scherzer has kept him down. It's Swisher says not so fast. Granderson rips one deep right field, and there it goes. The Detroit Tigers even the series at 1 game apiece.
And this American League Division series switches to Detroit, downtown Detroit, and the picture-perfect Comerica Park. And you can bet, Tigers fans, they are ready to roar on the national stage tonight. It is Game 3, series all tied at 1 apiece. The Yankees and the Detroit Tigers. And hi, everybody. We welcome you from Comerica. Brian Anderson along with John Smoltz and Ron Darling. Great to have you with us. What a matchup we have once again for the second time in 4 days. It is Justin Verlander and CC Sabathia. The Tigers wrestled away a big-time win yesterday at Yankee Stadium. And, John, now Detroit has the home field advantage. They have their ace, Justin Verlander, on the mound in the home whites tonight.
Yeah, due to unusual circumstances, these guys are having to pitch out of their routine, meaning 2 games, 2 days of rest. And I think it's going to be an advantage for Justin Verlander based on how he started in New York. And when he started in New York, he likes to coast. But in this game, the adrenaline got to him a little bit. And watch the 0-2 count go to 3-2 real quick. And look at the miles per hour, 98, and in some cases 99 that he had to deal with. This is a guy that likes to coast and then rev it up. So what I think he's going to learn, how to tone that adrenaline down. Look at this inning 1 through 3, 94.5. You see all the way to innings 7 through 9. I think this might be an advantage for Justin Verlander, having gone through what he did in New York.
Well, Verlander in a familiar setting certainly here, but it will be anything but comfortable for the New York Yankees here at Comerica, Ron Darling. The Yankees, they know they need a big win. They need a big win on the road, so they go to their big ace, the left-hander CC Sabathia.
Well, the great thing about CC is that he's 2-0 as a Yankee in the postseason on the road. But one of the things about CC in the first game, those unusual circumstances, is that I saw all of his starts in September. He kind of limped to the finish line. Well, he didn't do any limping in this game. His fastball was on the corners and down. Great changeup even with the rain, and great slider against the right-handed hitters. He was outstanding. So when you look to CC, you look at the guy making his 15th postseason start, expect a big one from CC Sabathia.
Two of the best pitchers in all of baseball, Sabathia, Verlander, and an opportunity for a big postseason moment right here tonight from Detroit. Game 3 coming up. Michigan, 56 degrees. It has that fall feel to it now as the Tigers ready for their first home game of this American League Division Series. Joining us is Sports Illustrated's Tom Verducci. And Tom, this has been a great sports weekend in the Motor City.
It really has, and obviously the problems with the economy in Detroit have been well documented, the highest unemployment rate. So any victory, however small, is a welcome diversion for a lot of people in this area. Well, lately the sports teams have been spreading a lot of good cheer. Go back to Saturday, the University of Michigan, undefeated, won their game, as did Michigan State, Central Michigan, Eastern Michigan, and Western Michigan. On Sunday, the Tigers won their first postseason game in 5 years, and the Lions, the undefeated Lions, won their game. Now, a lot of people here are hoping to see something many have not seen in their lifetime, and that is the Tigers and the Lions in the postseason in the same year. That's happened only once, way back in 1935.
Wouldn't that be something? Thank you, Tom. And they are revved up here in Detroit. Let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups, brought to you by Autotrader.com. Derek Jeter leads off. This is the same batting order for the Yankees for 3 straight games with Jeter, Granderson, and Cano. Middle of the order is Alex Rodriguez, Mark Teixeira, and Nick Swisher. And the bottom 3 for Joe Girardi, Jorge Posada, Russell Martin, and Brett Gardner. Much different kind of ballpark here than Yankee Stadium. Pitcher-friendly ballpark. And 2 horses on the mound, and Justin Verlander will take his shot first as Derek Jeter, the Kalamazoo native, digs in. And right back up the middle, a base hit. Jeter jumping on the first pitch. And the Yankees started with a single, so right away Jeter gets to work.
Well, when you look at Justin Verlander, one doesn't have to go very far to see how dominant he's been in baseball. These stats supersede a lot of pitchers, the Triple Crown and the 3 big stats. And I think today is more of a mental difference than anything else. Once he gets into the flow of the game, I think everything's going to be fine. But you have to deal with that short little rest. It's out of your routine. We're creatures of habit, and I think he'll get into the flow of the game relatively quick.
When you watch Verlander on the mound, you see those quick feet. Jim Leyland talks about it. The Yankees have talked about it. Very quick move to first base.
Curtis Granderson, the former Tiger, was excited to return in a postseason scenario to Detroit. He was a great Tiger, then traded to the Yankees. He calls Detroit his second home. And Granderson so far, with a home run in this ALDS, has 2 hits. He's 2 for 7.
One of the things to watch today, if you're obviously haven't seen Justin Verlander, is can the Yankees stay off of a high fastball. There's 2 different planes today. For the Yankees, it's the high fastball. For the Tigers, it's the pitch down at CC Sabathia. They'll be working in 2 areas for their success.
John, see that number, 94 miles an hour. Just what you talked about in the opening is that sometimes he dials it down early.
One of the things he possesses is one of the most live arms in baseball, and it is tantalizing to go to it and rush it up at 98, 99 early. He has to pitch to contact a little bit more, and he's learned how to do that successfully.
Granderson rips one deep left center field. Austin Jackson's got a lot of speed but cannot get there. Jeter had to wait. He's around third, and he will score. Granderson on his way to third, and it's an RBI triple for Curtis Granderson. The former Tiger puts the Yankees on top in the first inning.
You know, we've talked so much about the pitching. You forget about the pride of the lineups in this game. High fastball up in the zone, able to get on top of it. And one of the things Girardi talked about, yes, a lot different ballpark here at Comerica Park, but great gaps and very hard, a lot of room to cover. And Jackson not able to get to that baseball.
It is an enormous outfield here at Comerica, especially center field and right center. Jackson has a lot of speed, but not even his foot speed able to run that one down. And the Yankees have another triple. It was Posada yesterday, Granderson today, and now it'll be Robinson Cano. Back-to-back hits to start it, and the Yankees have quieted down this crowd quickly. Exactly what the Tigers did at Yankee Stadium yesterday.
And you just got to stay with your game plan. You can't get caught up with trying to strike out the next 3 guys. You got to have confidence in your offense. Stay with your game plan. If you give up this run, that's it. That's what you tell yourself and your club. That's it, boys. That's all they get.
Jeter, a hit on the first pitch. Granderson swinging at the first pitch. Cano swinging at the first pitch.
Yankees aggressive early as Verlander. This is inside to Cano. Cano had a monster game 1, drove in 6 runs. He is 3 for 5 in game 1. Had a 1 for 4 day yesterday with a single. Had a home run and 2 doubles in the first game. Stretched over 2 days. And because of that suspension in game 1, played only an inning and a half. Both Verlander and Sabathia ready to go today. 2 days of rest technically between starts, but certainly they were not able to go deep into a ball game because the game was picked up on Saturday. So in very unusual circumstances to begin this one as Cano takes a big rip and Verlander goes right to that 98-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah, and we talked about the range that he has, and he has unbelievable range to keep it for a long time too. But I think in this scenario, now you get to 2 strikes. Now you start thinking about strikeout, possibly putting him away with a hard slider or curveball.
A swing and a miss. Verlander strikes him out. Triple digits for Verlander. And so much for Jim Leyland saying, I don't really want to see him in the high 90s.
Yeah, 100 miles an hour, and he does get the strikeout, the much-needed strikeout. Now you'll see the strategy change. They'll bring the infield in and try to keep the run from scoring. Alex has had trouble with the hard fastball. See if he can stay with that.
Verlander has had so much success this year on what he calls cruising speed. That mid-90s fastball that helped him get to 24 wins. It helped him pitch to more decisions. This is the big question mark in the Yankees lineup right now. Alex Rodriguez. The knee injury in July. A thumb injury late in the season as well. His power numbers are down. He does have an RBI in this series, but he is 0 for 8 at the plate.
Good stop there by Alex Avila. That hard slider, he just smothered it. We talked about the infield being in. The only problem with that, we know that Alex Rodriguez has struggled so far. It brings in with the hard thrower that broken bat hit. Just goes over the infield.
So far in this series, the Yankees just 2 for 20 with runners in scoring position. Remember, that was Gardner and Cano in the same inning, the 6th inning in game 1.
The only thing to watch here, Ron, is when you've got your infield in, a lot of pitchers will pitch out of the stretch. Now he's pitching out of the windup, which gives Granderson a little more of a walking lead. Even if the ball's hit hard at an infielder, he has a good opportunity to beat a throw to home because he's out of the windup.
Back-to-back breaking balls for Verlander. And he is back in the count at 2-2.
Very interesting. The Detroit Tiger pitchers, other than Verlander, have pitched Rodriguez all inside with fastballs. He's chosen to go away with the fastball and mostly breaking balls.
Shot another hook. So it goes full as we check in with Tom Verducci. Tom.
Yeah, I spoke with hitting coach Kevin Long before the game, and he said Alex Rodriguez came into the series conscious of hitting the ball center and right center. Well, they changed their attack. Worked today pregame on being much more pull conscious in order to be on time.
Another 100-mile-an-hour fastball from Verlander that caught a piece of Jerry Davis, the crew chief who has the plate for game 3.
Looked like it caught Jerry Davis in the shoulder or the right bicep. That's going to smart. Finally a fastball up and in to Rodriguez. Tom Verducci doing that report. Well, you know what that tells me? They were working on Rodriguez cheating tonight and trying to get that head of the bat out on this 100-mile-an-hour fastball.
Cheating in a legal sense.
Yes, of course.
Trying to get it started a little bit earlier. And you could see a bit of a flinch with Alex Rodriguez on those breaking balls. But Verlander does that to a lot of hitters. See what he has in mind, 3-2. Breaks his bat. Granderson coming home and no throw. The throw goes to first. Granderson's speed scores the run. And no chance for the Tigers to get it out. Alex Rodriguez with his second ALDS RBI this year. 2-0 Yankees.
And this is what I was talking about, the walking lead, and you can get that momentum going home, and his speed will beat the throw. That's the only downside out of pitching out of the windup. A pitcher pitches out of the windup because he feels his rhythm's better, but out of the stretch you can keep him a little bit closer. He doesn't get that long walking lead.
The base running of Derek Jeter in the first game on contact, and Granderson here on contact got those 2 runs.
Here is Mark Teixeira. Just a reminder, they're headed to the bottom of the 9th. Texas at Tampa. Rangers have a lead, a 1-run lead as they go to the bottom of the 9th. That game is on TBS. As we are just underway here on TNT with the Tigers and the Yankees, Game 3. Mark Teixeira was 0 for 4 in Game 2. He is 1 for 7 in the series. His lone hit was a double. A fast start for the Yankees. A single by Jeter on the first pitch. Granderson tripled him in. Granderson scores on the ground out. I've noticed in this series so far, and it's starting to develop as a story, that the Tigers defensively have been unwilling to take risks. They are taking the sure outs. They've done it on 3 occasions throughout this series.
And I think part of that could say that they trust their offense.
Yeah.
That they trust the man on the mound, that 2 runs could be it. That's all they're looking at. And they trust their offense to be able to score enough runs and stay away from a much bigger inning.
Took a little off. Teixeira strikes out. Verlander is through the first, but the former Tiger in his return to the postseason in Detroit, Curtis Granderson, triples in Jeter. He scores himself. It's 2-0 Yankees. Of all 3 games now of this ALDS, and let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups brought to you by Autotrader.com. Jim Leyland's Tigers. Austin Jackson leading off. Got a change here with Ramon Santiago. He's batting second. Delman Young in the 3-hole. In the middle, it's Miguel Cabrera. Victor Martinez, the designated hitter. Maglio Ordonez drops down to the 6th spot tonight with Johnny Peralta, the shortstop, batting 7th. Alex Avila will hit 8th this evening, and he'll do the catching, and Brandon Edge rounds it out playing third base. And that lineup will face CC Sabathia, a 19-game winner during the regular season, and his 15th career postseason start as Austin Jackson fouls it away.
One thing you got to caution yourself if you're CC, you don't think about starting a game with a 2-0 lead against Verlander. It might seem like a 6-0 lead. You just got to pitch your game, throw strikes, and see how the Tiger hitters adjust to your pitches.
No working the counts by either of these teams against these great pitchers. They are coming out hacking.
Well, the numbers are pretty staggering when you think about when each of these guys gets 2 strikes. It's pretty hard to hit. And so you know they're control pitchers. They're going to be around the zone. Take advantage of the early counts if you can.
Well, Sabathia was telling us yesterday at Yankee Stadium that he was disappointed the rains came on Friday night because he felt like he had great stuff. He was comfortable with his slider early. 4 strikeouts in his first 2 innings. And Ronnie, he said he had his best fastball command coming out of the bullpen to start a game on Friday, the best he's had in a long time for the Yankees.
I watched all his September starts. He really struggled with his fastball down the stretch. CC, one of those guys that everything comes off that fastball on the knees.
If the big man feels good about his fastball and his slider, look out.
Don't let the size fool you. He's a really good athlete, and he commands the presence of the hitter, but he commands the mound. He can move around. He can make pitches, make adjustments. And when he's got his mechanics working and moving towards that catcher, you're in trouble.
Sabathia turned 31 in July. And back in the postseason with the Yankees once again. Had a good run in 09. What's interesting about Sabathia, he has been a horse. He has rarely been on the disabled list. Been on the DL twice in his career, and it was just briefly as a member of the Cleveland Indians. Had an oblique injury. No DL stints since the 2006 season.
If you're a Tiger fan, that's a great sign right there. This is a free swinging leadoff guy, and that typically was a pitch he'd swing and miss at. He's worked the count to 3-2. That's a great sign, regardless of what happens in this at bat, that he's seeing the ball a little bit better, especially here at home.
Ball 4.
The one thing you're going to get and find out early is that Jerry Davis, the home plate umpire, has a very smallish type strike zone, and you're not going to get any of those pitches that are around the peripheral of that plate.
Well, just a reminder, over on TBS, the Rangers and the Rays, they're in the bottom of the 9th inning. Texas has a 4-3 lead. Once that game has come to a conclusion, we'll be moving over from TNT to TBS. A bouncer over to A-Rod to second. They get one there. Cano to first in time. A 5-4-3 double play. The Yankees go around the horn. A little bit surprised Santiago didn't drop a bunt now. That was the battle cry for Jim Leyland before this game.
Well, that's a nice play by A-Rod. Cano a little late to get over there, so he kind of has to time that throw over to Cano, who can throw on the run and overhand. Probably the best arm of any second baseman in the game.
We looked at Jim Leyland's lineup today. The first question was Ramon Santiago batting second. His answer, if Austin Jackson gets aboard, I like him to bunt. He's one of my best bunters. He dropped down 2 sacrifice bunts yesterday. You play a little bit differently here at Comerica than you do at Yankee Stadium. It's a much bigger ballpark. You play a little more small ball here, you would think.
You want to stop sacrifice bunts, put runs on the board. It stops all that.
The Yankees get 2 runs in the first, and it changes the strategy for Jim Leyland. Delman Young fouling it away, and Young down in the count. That Tiger win yesterday was the first win over the Yankees that Delman Young has had in the postseason. Remember, he was part of the Twins in the last 2 seasons, the last 2 postseasons against the Yankees. So he got to taste a little victory against the New York Yankees for the first time.
We were talking before the game that CC Sabathia at this point in his career might be more complete than he ever was as a pitcher. Early on, a guy that wanted to strike you out, but he has really evolved as a pitcher. He can do it all now.
He sure has, and he isn't as anxious to come out of the gate firing too. He's thrown more dead fish fastballs, which are changeups for most people, but 88 miles an hour type changeups. You know, people don't understand the difference between a regular season and a postseason game. There's so much adrenaline. There's nothing in a regular season that duplicates a postseason start. The crowd, everything's amped up. And CC even has talked about how he's learned to amp it down, if that's the correct English. He's learned how to just pitch into the moment.
Young lays off a 2-2, back to a full count. CC Sabathia 7-4 in the postseason. You see with the Yankees, he's 5-1 in the postseason. That one loss was at home. He has not lost on the road. 9 starts in the postseason as a member of the Yankees. Another walk. 2 walks in the inning. The double play wiped out the first one. And now a man on with 2 away for Miguel Cabrera, the last man you want to face with a runner on base.
I'm always intrigued to see the cat and mouse game by this first pitch to Cabrera. Does he feast off his aggressiveness? Does he try to throw something down? Or does he try to get that first strike thinking Cabrera's taken? One of the greatest things about pitching and in this situation is that cat and mouse game.
Saw those 2 home runs, 9 hits against Sabathia. Had a home run on Friday prior to the rains. Well, Cabrera was on his game yesterday at Yankee Stadium. In the first inning, hit a 2-run home run. He sliced it inside the foul pole down the right field line. And kept his big day going with an RBI single in the 6th. Had another single in the 8th inning. He actually stole a base as well. He did it all yesterday, Miguel Cabrera. 3 hits, 3 runs batted in a 5-3 Tiger win.
Friday night, CC Sabathia had sharp stuff, had a lot on the baseball. He was commanding his fastball. Does not have that so far in the first inning as he tries to make adjustments.
Normally, Sabathia has great command. If you just look at his body of work in the regular season, at 6 first-inning walks all season in the regular year. He's already walked 2 in the first inning here tonight. The only base runner he allowed in 2 innings on Friday night was that Cabrera home run. There's a strike from Sabathia.
Well, you see the respect there. 87-mile-an-hour cutter. Might even have been a changeup that cut. He was not going to lay one in there thinking he was taken. In the playoffs, you do not take chances. You might in the regular season. He might have thrown a fastball, said, okay.
Cabrera in a hitter's count with a runner at first. And he lays off back-to-back walks. Now we welcome our audience coming over from the Rangers and the Rays game. Texas winning on the road, and now Texas with a 2-1 series advantage on the Tampa Bay Rays. We welcome you to Comerica Park, downtown Detroit. This series shifts to the Motor City. Brian Anderson with Ron Darling, John Smoltz, Tom Verducci. Well, the Yankees scoring 2 runs in the first inning. It was an RBI triple by Granderson, who scored Jeter. Alex Rodriguez with an RBI ground out. CC Sabathia has walked 3 batters in this first inning. Got a double play off the bat of Santiago that wiped out the first walk. Now 2 on with Victor Martinez.
Early on, 22 pitches. All after the double play, thinking it was going to be a relatively quiet inning. Now you start adding up what I call stress pitches. These are when making pitches are a little bit more important.
Well, not missing by much. Sabathia behind just about every hitter to start this inning. That was a huge double play, as it turned out, with 3 walks now in the frame.
No one was better in the American League than Victor Martinez with runners in scoring position. Average .394.
Martinez late on the fastball from Sabathia. Victor Martinez and CC Sabathia know each other well. They were teammates in Cleveland. Martinez was his battery mate back with the Cleveland Indians. Martinez went to the Red Sox and eventually here to Detroit. Mostly used as a designated hitter. Will occasionally get some time at first base. A switch hitter and a good one at that. 2 on, 2 out. Martinez slices one foul.
Here's what the hitters are looking at in their hitter's background. Pretty good. There's not much to distract them. You can see the ball coming out of the pitcher's hand. Even though it's not a hitter-friendly ballpark by the dimensions, I got to believe you can see the ball pretty good with no distractions out there in center field.
Beautiful ballpark. Comerica Park opened in 2000. It played so big they actually brought the fences in left field back prior to the 03 season. But still a pitcher-friendly park. Martinez, did he go? No, he didn't. Dan Isonia says he checked his swing. That's a big call.
I tell you what, when you see a lot of elbows, you don't really see the barrel go through, but those elbows make it look like he swung. That intent was not there to hit the baseball. But as a pitcher, you go, he swung, check it.
Everything is in. You see that cluster for CC Sabathia against Victor Martinez. Just 1 pitch away from him already. 27 pitches. 2 outs in the inning on the double play ball, but 3 walks for Sabathia. Unusually wild here tonight.
I'm going to tell you why this inning has already been a success for Detroit. 27 pitches. It will have its impact as the game goes on, and we'll explain why coming back in 2 days is not as easy as people think, and why that might play into the game farther along.
And Martinez, a swing and a miss. Good block from Martin. And a strikeout for Sabathia. Tigers cannot score, but they do a little damage. Chevrolet. Upload a picture of your youth player and you could win tickets to the 2011 postseason among hundreds of other MLB prizes. Be a part of the Chevy Centennial Celebration and enter for a chance to win at ChevyBaseball.com. Great night for baseball here in downtown Detroit. The series split in New York. It took 3 days to play 2 games in New York, all even at 1 apiece. The Tigers have clawed their way back in this series with a big win on the road yesterday, and now Verlander back out there for his 2nd inning of work. Nick Swisher will lead off. Swisher, Posada, and Martin. Joe Girardi's been stubborn with his lineup. No changes throughout the first 3 games of this ALDS.
You know, it's interesting, after the suspended game on Friday night, I mentioned that I thought that Sabathia and Verlander would come back on Sunday. I was absolutely wrong, of course, because they're pitching tonight. But it's a lot harder to come back from the mental side sometimes.
Swisher in the left. Elman Young makes the catch for the out.
And that's exactly right, because it's really more of a structure mental thing where you're dealing with your routine. And a lot of people were even questioning they can come back the next day. No big deal. You go through a full warm-up of 60 pitches. You get mentally prepared. You give that effort. And it's not like a reliever who's trained his whole season to do 1 inning at a time,
Yeah.
1 inning at a time. A pitcher, starting pitcher, has to deal with it a lot differently than those. And I thought the decision, as the more you think about it, was probably the right decision, and now both these pitchers in a situation to affect their team in a great way.
Verlander against Jorge Posada with 1 away.
The starting pitcher's day starts as soon as he gets his head off the pillow on the day he pitches. A reliever's day starts as soon as that phone rings.
Yeah, the heartbeats are a little different.
And all the mental work that goes into a start, and the fact that Verlander went just 1 inning. On paper, you think he would be fresh, he would be ready to go, and a lot of questions for both managers after that. When will these guys pitch again? I think the Yankees had a clear advantage after the Game 1 win with CC Sabathia waiting for Game 3. That's why we talked about it yesterday. Game 2, such a swing game for the Tigers, especially now that they have even the series. It certainly is, as Posada keeps hitting. Jorge Posada swinging a red-hot bat in this ALDS. That's a 1-out single. That is his 4th hit already in the first 3 games.
Well, this has been the greatest thing that's happened to the Yankees. If you talk to anyone in the middle of the season, Posada would not have been on that roster. May 14th, he took himself out of the lineup when he was hitting 9th against the Red Sox. Things went downhill after that. But because of the rain, because of the double headers, Jorge got a lot of at-bats and got hot quickly and made the roster.
Russell Martin with Posada on base and a chance for 2. Easy as it gets. 6-4-3. Verlander is through 2. Tigers coming up. By Goodyear. Everything Goodyear has learned, making tires that go the distance, inspires what they roll into yours. Goodyear, more driven. Comerica Park, downtown Detroit, 2-0. The Yankees have the lead. New York scoring 2 in the first. RBIs from Granderson and Alex Rodriguez. A couple of hits in that inning, Jeter and Granderson. And Sabathia goes back to work. 3 walks in the first inning. Maglio Ordonez on the first pitch. Throws it foul.
It's interesting. Both pitchers go in with a game plan, but the hitters sometimes tell you what your game plan is, and you have to change it. And early on, they're aggressive. A lot of first pitch fastballs. Now you're seeing both pitchers pitch a little bit so they don't get the attack on the first pitch.
Ordonez, a 3-for-3 game. Yesterday in game 2, 3 for 7 in the series so far. Has scored a couple of runs. Sabathia and Russell Martin.
Just a little mechanical flaw, John, so far for CC Sabathia. That front shoulder flying out of there so far.
You know, pitching is so finicky. You could have on the 4th day, you could feel great. The 5th day, it doesn't feel good. Now they're on their 3rd day, and sometimes your body reacts differently. And every game is different. Every 5 days is not going to be the same. That's why you try to do the best you can to adjust in game as much as possible.
Well, interesting watching Ordonez. You mentioned that he had the 3 hits for yesterday's game, Brian, but that was against a softer tossing Freddie Garcia. It'll be interesting to see if he can catch up to the fastball of Sabathia tonight.
Well, on Friday night against Sabathia, Ordonez hitting 2nd at the time. He struck out in his only at bat against CC Sabathia. He was 0 for 4 in game 1. Things just have not been normal for Sabathia going back even into the regular season. You know, he didn't pitch the last week. He had a simulated game last Sunday, so his routine has been thrown off, which is why he was so disappointed that the rains came after that terrific start he had Friday night. And that one misses. Sabathia has walked 4 of the first 6 hitters he has faced.
Now the first question each of these guys are going to be asked, and that's the mental thing you have to deal with different. Did that throw you off? Did these 2 days change the way you're pitching? Now if they both throw zeros the rest of the way in, that the question's answered.
Johnny Peralta, all-star shortstop for the Tigers.
You know, I mentioned the pregame that Sabathia is 2-0 as a Yankee on the road, but the road has not been his friend in the postseason for his career. ERA approaching 7 on the road.
Right to Jeter, to Cano. Double play. Boy, Robinson, Cano, like a walk in the park. Makes it look easy out there. Jeter to Cano to Teixeira. 6-4-3 it goes, and Sabathia has eliminated 2 of his 4 walks with double play balls.
Cano has such a great arm that when he gets this throw from Jeter, he walks right across the bag 2 more steps before he releases the baseball. That gets him out of the way of any incoming runner. Very rarely see him getting taken out.
What an amazing player he is. He's one of the game's premier players, and it's that style, that smooth style is what you call it now, but it used to get him in a lot of trouble. They used to call him lackadaisical. 2 gone, wipes out a leadoff walk. Alex Avila at the plate for the Tigers. 24-year-old catcher. Jim Leyland changing up his lineup a little bit with the left-hander Sabathia on the mound, and Avila is the one maybe affected the most in the lineup, hitting 8th tonight for Leyland.
He just says right now Avila's kind of lost a little bit. You can see that in that first swing of the night. Also wanted to take some of the pressure off him, move him down in the lineup a little bit. You know, your catchers are the ones that sometimes run out of gas here late in the postseason because of all the wear and tear from the regular season.
Sabathia with a 28-pitch first inning. Alex Avila is 0 for 6. He does have an RBI. Drove in a run in game 1 on a fielder's choice. And a swing and a miss. Avila down on strikes. Sabathia induces his second double play. Has worked around 4 walks through the first 2 innings. Series coverage on TBS is brought to you in HD by BMW, the ultimate driving machine. The Detroit River, beautiful setting here, fall in downtown Detroit. And these Tiger fans anxious to make their presence known in this ALDS after the first 2 games at Yankee Stadium in New York. And the Tigers have guaranteed at least 2 games here at Comerica Park. Verlander back to work. Brett Gardner leads off, drops a bunt, and Verlander cannot make the play. That is a bunt hit for Brett Gardner. Always a big weapon for Gardner with his great speed.
Well, not exactly his best bunt. He kind of caught that off the end of the bat, but like maybe a lob wedge, John. Kind of drops it in there, has some backspin on it, and you could see Verlander never able to get that in his hand to make the play. He knew he had to rush it, tried to rush it because of Gardner's speed, and never able to make that play, and probably wouldn't have had a shot at him anyway.
Yeah, no chance.
Yeah, do or die play. The only way you come up with it, try to throw it at his back as he's running to first. Sometimes you get that call if he's not inside the line, but that's your only chance to make the play.
Now, Joe Girardi told us before the game he will utilize the running game a lot more in this ballpark than he does at Yankee Stadium. But he did acknowledge that the combination of Verlander and Avila can be a tough combination to run on from both sides. Gardner had 49 steals during the regular year. Matter of fact, Brett Gardner had as many stolen bases as the entire Detroit Tigers team. 49-49. One of the fastest players in Major League Baseball.
Well, he started out slow. He was caught stealing in 6 of his first 11 attempts, but after that got on a roll. Only caught stealing 7 in his last 51 attempts.
Let's send it down to Tom. What do you have, Tom?
Well, Brett Gardner, you know, these teams have all kinds of information. The scouting report from the Yankees showed that Verlander threw to first base 206 times this year on pickoff throws. The key for Gardner is trying to read that back knee, the right knee. He said it's really a balk move where it moves before he goes to the first base.
Well, that's something every pitcher, or not every pitcher, he takes a lot of pride in spring training. You work at it, you vary your times, you try to get as quick as you can to eliminate that part of the game. It takes away the stress for a pitcher when you don't have to worry about a run around second right away.
Verlander led all American League pitchers with 5 throwing errors, 3 of those on pickoff attempts. Not only does he bring the heat to the plate, he can bring the heat to first base as well. Cabrera is always at the ready at first base to catch a big fastball.
But he has 19 pickoffs in his career, does Verlander. And the other thing that comes into play here, certainly not in October, but earlier in the year, the sun comes in the middle of the summer, and the first baseman is sometimes blinded on those pickoff throws. That's a result for some of those errors.
There goes Gardner. Jeter fouls it away. It's a homecoming of sorts for Derek Jeter from Kalamazoo, the Kalamazoo kid. Moved from New Jersey to Kalamazoo, and he was a young man. His dad was earning his PhD at Western Michigan, his father Charles. But even though he lived in Michigan, he was a Yankee fan. He spent his summers with his grandparents in New Jersey. One of the greatest Yankees of them all, Derek Jeter, at this point of his career. Gardner not running. Cabrera to second for 1. The return in time. So Brett Gardner staying put, and Verlander's able to get a double play. Well done by Miguel Cabrera to start it.
Well, that's as good a play as you're going to see. Quick feet by Cabrera. He doesn't get off the bag a lot. It allows him to make that play pretty easily, but makes the accurate throw. Peralta right back at him. And no chance for Jeter to beat that one out despite his good speed. See, Gardner can't get in on Peralta. Strong throw to first. Not even close.
Already the 4th double play in this game. 2 for each pitcher. Granderson with a triple and an RBI in the first inning. It was a quick strike for the Yankees. Jeter on the first pitch singled. Granderson tripled him in. And then Granderson would score on Alex Rodriguez ground out. In the air. Left field. Delman Young will make the call. And the catch. Bottom of the 3rd. Coming up from Detroit. The Tigers will bat.
Throughout the first 2 rounds of the MLB postseason with Cal Ripken Jr., John Smoltz, and Ron Darling. Go behind the mic with the biggest names in sports, presented by Allstate exclusively on SI.com. Looking forward to hearing from you guys.
It's a beautiful thing behind the mic.
CC Sabathia against Brandon Inge to start the 3rd inning. Sabathia with 4 walks already. You go through the regular season, the most walks he had in any start this year. His season high was 4, and he's already at 4, but 2 double plays, and the Tigers with some missed opportunities with those free passes. Inge into the gap, deep left center. That is going to go to the wall. Brandon Inge on his way to second, and a double.
His entire career, his power numbers have gone south, but he's always been a dead red hitter, and he gets one on this 0-1 count, a fastball down and in. We talked about it before the game. Both managers mentioned that this plays big, this ballpark, but the gaps are huge also. Extra base hit for Inge.
Inge was in the starting lineup against Sabathia Friday night. Had some success against Sabathia this year, and it's a leadoff double for the 9-hole hitter in the Tigers batting order. Back to the top now, Austin Jackson. The first hit for Detroit is a missile into the gap in left center. Austin Jackson still looking for his first hit. Jackson walked in the first. 0 for 8 in this LDS. Jackson playing in his first postseason. Jim Leyland is leaving him in the leadoff spot, but doesn't want him to think like a leadoff hitter. He doesn't want him to think on base percentage. He wants him to be himself. He's actually a guy the Tigers field has a chance to hit 15-20 home runs a season at some point. He has some power, has great speed, but he does strike out a lot.
I honestly would be in favor of Jackson the way he is swinging the bat right now. I'd be in favor of him laying a bunt down, getting the run to third, trying to get a run in. I think that would work for the Detroit Tigers and Jim Leyland. Just get them on the board, get them where they're a run closer.
And you have a contact hitter coming up next in Ramon Santiago. You figure for Sabathia, this is the part of the order you get down to the 8th spot for the Tigers as it turns over 8, 9, 1, and 2 that Sabathia has to control with the muscle coming up after that, the middle of the Tigers order. And a bunt, and Jackson goes right through it.
See, that's not a play right there that you need to be making. The percentage of getting that bunt down, I mean, sure, he's done it before, but make it a true sacrifice and then let your legs do the work. Now you put yourself in a 2-strike hole with a guy that hasn't exactly been Mr. Contact. A lot of pressure now to get the runner over and make contact.
Jackson led the Tigers with sacrifice bunts this year with 14. Now he's down to the count with 2 strikes and a foul tip.
I know what you're saying, John. In that circumstance, you're not bunting for a base hit. Yes, you'd love to be a base hit if you make a good bunt, but it's bunt first, run second.
Yeah.
That was run first, bunt second.
Yeah, that's the lead off the inning and get on with a bunt base hit type play, not get him over to third. And when you do square around and bunt, you want to get it to A-Rod because you want him to field the ball, allowing the runner to go to third.
Inge at second, a leadoff double. Can Jackson move him?
Jim Leyland trying to get warm over there near the heater. Might be his good luck pace back and forth.
So far, CeCe's been flirting with the old get the leadoff runner out. Each leadoff runner has gotten on, yet to score, though.
2 walks and a double. That didn't miss by much. Look at all of those pitches around the strike zone, and yet Sabathia is in a 3-2 count.
If it's not completely inside the box, you will not get it tonight.
Walked him. Walk number 5.
Right here, I will walk back to the hotel if he doesn't square around and bunt here. What do you think? I think this is why he had him in the number 2 hole. You mentioned this, why the strategy change in lineup. He can handle the bat. Now you get runners on second and third, 1 out.
Is that a threat or a promise?
It's a promise.
Okay.
Now the 2 guys Leland used during the regular season to bunt, the sacrifice bunt. Austin Jackson, who led the club, and then Ramon Santiago. He had 11 bunts. He had 2 successful sacrifice bunts in yesterday's game. Alex Rodriguez 2 steps on the grass at third base.
You got to bunt it to third.
Squares early and takes a strike. Well, the Tigers are fast on the bases right now. Inge runs well. Jackson at first base runs extremely well.
A-Rod's given the signs. You will not see a wheel play with the lead here. Wheel play where the shortstop covers third. Third baseman comes in. The fake by A-Rod, and CC will try to cover the third base line.
It's in the air, and it'll bounce foul. Had too much spin on it. And Santiago hit an 0-2 count.
The thing about bunting, and everybody's sitting at home going, oh, I could bunt, and you probably can when you work at it, because you got to take yourself completely out of trying to make a perfect bunt. This is the time you don't have to make a perfect bunt. You can get it as hard as you want to the third baseman. You can't reach and try to make it a perfect bunt down the line. This is not a time for that drag bunt or bunt for a base hit, and you can see he pulled it left, and the spin takes it foul.
Does he try again with 2 strikes? We'll see. Not bunting, and he takes it down and in. Good play by Russell Martin. Keeps the runners at bay.
John, you mentioned before that the Tigers, one of the keys for them is to make sure they lay off that ball down in the strike zone. They've done a nice job of it so far. That's why they have the walks.
They really have. Only the left-hander, and it's harder for a left-hander to lay off that slider. Swung it at a ball in the dirt, but so far so good for the Tigers in their game plan. Each person, the pitcher and the hitter, trying to execute and flex their muscles. So far, the Tigers have done a nice job laying off of it.
Swinging away again, and down he goes. Oh, he fouled it off. He just got a piece. Santiago stays alive. Ramon Santiago put in the 2-hole today by Jim Leland. Looking to advance runners, do the little things offensively to set up some of his big boppers coming up next. And that one is pulled into left field, a base hit. Here comes Inge, and he will score. Brandon Inge steps on the plate. Santiago puts the Tigers on the board with an RBI single.
Jim Leland with the lineup change, put Santiago in that second slot, did not get the bunt down, but comes up here with a big base hit over the glove of Alex Rodriguez. No play for Gardner on Inge, who got a nice jump off second base. First and second for the Tigers again with 1 run in.
And CC Sabathia obviously wanted to get that pitch down. That was the slider that he tries to get guys to swing over the top. Enough of the ball up where he could get the barrel of the bat to it. Another 2 inches down, and it's probably a strikeout.
Jackson's supposed to bunt. He gets a walk. Santiago's can't execute the bunt. He gets a base hit.
They may never look down for another sign again, those two. Larry Rothschild, the Yankee pitching coach. Quick visit with CC Sabathia. Brandon Inge started it with a double. He scores on the single by Santiago. And now CC Sabathia has to go through the heart of his Tiger order. Delman Young, the free swinger at the plate. He walked his last time up. That's not easy to do. And he swings at the first pitch. It's down for a base hit. They're going to hold the runner, Jackson. Swisher, a very accurate arm and right. And now the fire burning hot for the Tigers. Bases loaded. Their best hitter coming up.
The reason I said earlier the Tigers are winning despite being down 2-0 is they're making CC work very hard for everything he has to get. It's starting to pay dividends because he's had to throw so many pitches.
Miguel Cabrera. A cleansing breath for Cabrera, the league's leading hitter in the American League this year. Cabrera, 3 hits yesterday, a home run, 3 runs batted in.
Did the suspended start hurt Sabathia? An emphatic yes.
His command is just not there. Cabrera on the ground to short. Derek Jeter shovels it over to Cano. The turn in time. A double play, but another run is in. And that ties it at 2. No RBI for Cabrera. The Yankees will gladly give up the run to take the 2 outs.
And I'm just telling you right here, having been through it, Ron, you've been through it. This warrior on the mound is not giving in. Some other people might have had 5 or 6 runs on the board already, but the double play is saving both pitchers, and you just worry that they're going to catch their groove before you had your opportunity to score 4 or 5 runs.
Sabathia has induced 3 double plays, 1 in each inning, and that was a big one. A run does score to tie the game at 2. And a runner at third for Victor Martinez now, who was a strikeout victim in the first. Martinez was up with 2 on and 2 out in the first inning. That long first inning by Sabathia. Verlander giving up 2 in the first. Tigers get him back. Looking to go ahead against Sabathia. CC deals a strike to his former battery mate. Martinez now down in the count. A ball and 2 strikes.
Saw a shot of Verlander there. I can only think you try not to get too excited when your team's got the bases loaded. The anticipation of 3 or 4 runs, because you yourself can have a little air let out of you. You got to stay in the moment.
Martinez to third. Alex Rodriguez makes the play to end the inning. Could have been a whole lot worse, but the Tigers get a pair to tie it up. 7, Pacquiao Marquez coming only to HBO. Full house here at Comerica Park. They've hosted a World Series here back in 06. They hosted the All-Star game here back in 05. A couple of memories from that All-Star game, as a matter of fact. I think Miguel Tejada was the MVP of that game. John, anything else?
Sorry.
The losing pitcher that day is Robinson Cano. Leads off for the Yankees. It's all right. You pitched in an All-Star game in basically your hometown, your home state.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, took a loss.
Yeah, bad timing. Home run went about 425 feet.
Did you try to come in on Tejada?
I did.
Oh.
Cano, Rodriguez, Teixeira. Cano in the air, right field. Not in this ballpark. Maglio Ordonez makes a catch for out number 1. So 1 away, and we're getting a great tour of the Detroit area and the greater Michigan area from John Smoltz. Welcome home. I know you're enjoying being back. Is this the first time you've been in this ballpark since that All-Star game?
No, I think interleague play got a chance to do that. But, man, this first 3 innings, they're playing with everybody's emotions. There's a lot going on in 3 innings.
Definitely. And for the starting pitchers, CC Sabathia, Justin Verlander, you're wondering about how they would come back after their start on Friday. And it's been an up and down situation where you feel like there could be 6-7 runs on the board right now, but there are only 4.
You know what's interesting is that Verlander gave up the runs early in that first inning, but he seems to be more in control than Sabathia is, who shut him out for the first couple and then gave up the 2 tying runs in the 3rd.
Trying to explain to people, when you pitch a regular season game, everybody's ready. Nobody goes after it 3/4. It's all full concentration. But pitching a postseason games like pitching 7, 8, 9 ninth inning innings, it's not the same. The stress, what you're trying to do, it's like pitching a 9th inning every inning. And for CC, it's been a little extra stressful with the amount of pitches he's thrown.
It's trying to protect a 1-0 lead 9 times.
Yes.
That's what you're trying to do in a postseason start.
Verlander behind 3-0 on Alex Rodriguez. Rodriguez without a hit, but he does have 2 runs batted in this ALDS. And he walks on 4 straight. So a 1-out base runner against Justin Verlander for the Yankees. Now Mark Teixeira will bat. That is the first walk issued by Verlander. His pitch count is at 43 right now as he pitches in the 4th inning. Sabathia is approaching 60, and he's been through just 3 so far tonight. And high stress pitches for both. Teixeira rips one to left. Back is Delman Young. He's there. Second out of the inning. Teixeira hit it right on a line, but right to Delman Young. And 2 away for Verlander.
Well, one of the things we talk about a lot on this broadcast is shutdown innings, and shutdown innings are very important not only in the regular season but postseason. And Verlander, along with CC, pretty darn good.
Well, both with earned run averages under 3 in those shutdown innings after their team scores runs. Verlander a 2.37 ERA in the regular season in those innings. That's what aces do. Aces don't give up many runs anyway. And Verlander's overall ERA was 2.40, which led the American League. Nick Swisher with 2 gone. Swisher flew out to left field in the 2nd inning. Has a couple of hits so far. He is 2 for 8 now. Hit a home run yesterday. Kept the Yankees' hopes alive. The Yankees made a run yesterday against the Tigers, scoring a couple of runs in the 9th inning, and actually had the winning run at the plate. Robinson Cano.
Lots of tension here on the ballpark, not only with the fans but also the players. Historically, this 3rd game is always the swing game in a 5-game series. Whoever wins this game, for the most part, usually goes on to win the series.
To your point, Ron, 23 league division series, all in best-of-5 format. The ones that were tied at 1 game apiece. The team that won Game 3 went on to win 19 of those 23 series. 19 of 23. So a swing for sure, and a best-of-5 turns into a best-of-3 now that it is even at 1 game apiece. And the Tigers have wrestled home field advantage back from the Yankees. Two on Swisher with 2 away. Alex Rodriguez at first, a 1-out walk. Rodriguez not running particularly well. He starts, then stops, and Verlander punches him out. Prepare for nerd domination. Don't miss The Big Bang Theory. All new to TBS Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday nights starting October 18th. 2-2 ball game. Game 3, American League Division Series. Verlander, Sabathia. Sabathia back on the mound. Magno Ordonez on the first pitch down the right field line. This one is slicing, just foul. Wow. Not by much. Ordonez almost a go-ahead home run here in the 4th inning.
We see this ball just curling inside and on the foul side of that foul pole. Good call there down the first base line.
When you see the umpires aligned there, you see the last umpire, he's close to the first base umpire, because the farther he would go to the foul pole, the harder it is to turn around and see where that ball actually ended up.
It's almost like for the umpires to get too close, they have to look straight up. That makes it real difficult. Nice catch by that fan.
Yeah, great camera work as well, right on that foul pole. The right field umpire is last night's home plate umpire, Eric Cooper. Ordonez, swing and a miss. Maglio Ordonez. It's off to a good start. This American League Division Series, he was a postseason star for the Tigers in 06. He hit the home run in 06 against the Athletics that sent the Tigers to the World Series. He also had a big home run against the Yankees in the ALDS, a put-away home run that secured that series for the Tigers. In 4 games, they never returned to New York back in 2006. They won 3 in a row after dropping the opener, and they're hoping for a repeat performance in 11. A flare, slicing foul for Ordonez.
Well, Ordonez has hit over 300 10 times in his career, a high of 363 in 2007 when he won the batting title. And interestingly enough, this summer he was contemplating retirement. His ankle, which he had operated on, was not coming back. He said it was like having a car with a flat tire. It just couldn't get around the bases. But he had some time off. Jim Leland was playing other players in right field. He got healthier and now back in the lineup.
37 years of age. Spent most of the first half on the disabled list. As he rips that one to Rodriguez. Nice play. Can he finish it off? You bet. Well done. One gone. Moments ago, we spoke with Yankee manager Joe Girardi as it's time to talk. Brought to you by Charles Schwab. Joe, this has been a wild one so far. CC Sabathia, what he's seeing from him, he's got a lot of pitches at this point.
Yeah, he's thrown a lot of pitches, and I think he's made some pretty good pitches and some borderline pitches that he hasn't gotten tonight. But he's throwing the ball well, and to get out of that jam, bases loaded, nobody out, and only give up 1 run after he gave up the first run, that's pretty good pitching.
Joe, typically these guys throw a lot of strikes, but your hitters came out aggressive early. Is that part of the game plan?
Well, I mean, you can try to do a couple things off of Verlander, but when you get a pitch to hit off him, you better not miss it. And early our guys got to him a little bit.
We appreciate Joe Girardi joining us mid-inning. CC Sabathia now 70 pitches as we play in the 4th inning. 1 away in the 4th. Johnny Peralta at the plate for the Tigers. Sabathia has induced 3 double plays so far. Peralta bounced into a 6-4 double, 3 double play, I should say, after the leadoff walk in the 2nd inning. It was a career high in the postseason for Sabathia, so he's walked 5 so far, but the 3 double plays and only 2 runs. In the air in the infield. Who wants it? Jeter. That's the call and the catch. Out number 2. Sabathia could use a clean inning. 2 away here in the 4th. Beautiful Comerica Park, downtown Detroit. A great setting as we move to Detroit for Game 3 of this series. Brian Anderson with Ron Darling, John Smoltz, Tom Verducci down in the dugout. And it's great to have you with us here for Game 3 of this series. And what a matchup. 2 of the best pitchers in baseball today, Sabathia and Verlander, but the offensive side of things has been a part of this game. 2-2 ball game here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Alex Avila.
Well, what CC has done, and you saw the last at bat previous to this, he went to his curveball. He's going to his curveball a little bit more, a little better feel, throwing it for strikes. His slider is his out pitch for the most part, but he's been releasing it a little bit late to get it in the spot that he wants to. So he's making the adjustments like a great pitcher does. And he's battling because very easily could have given up 5 runs.
Not all his pitches are working. He's trying to figure out which one's the best right now.
This is a tough matchup for Alex Avila. One of the reasons Leland wanted to drop him in the batting order a little bit. Hitting 8th today. And Avila having a tough time with that breaking ball from Sabathia. That's the pitch he struck him out on in the 2nd inning.
Jim Leland, Floyd McClendon next to him, the hitting coach for the Tigers. Probably discussing Avila's swing right now. Twice this inning, Russell Martin has called for the fastball up in the strike zone as CC's trying to elevate his fastball when he gets ahead.
Yeah, he wanted to change the eyesight so that he can come right back with that slider that has been effective against left-handers. The only left-hander in the lineup. Your release point is going to be better against him than it is against right-handers.
Down he goes again. Sabathia, a 3-up, 3-down inning. He needed that one. All tied at 2. We head to the 5th. Park on a Monday night in Detroit, all tied at 2 as we go to the 5th inning. 4 in the books. The Yankees with 2 in the top of the 1st inning. Tigers get 2 in the bottom of the 3rd to even it up. Verlander back to work against Jorge Posada. Bottom of the order coming up for the Yankees. Pitch. Verlander with a strikeout. That is number 4. Moments ago, we spoke with Verlander's manager, Jim Leland, as it's time to talk. Brought to you by Charles Schwab. Jim, can you just give us a little perspective on your batting order today? You've got some movement despite a victory yesterday against Sabathia.
Yeah, well, it's a little different. We got a couple guys didn't hit him at all. Santiago did, so we went for the defense plus the one guy that did hit him in the middle, and so far it's paid off. Santiago got a big hit there for us.
Well, it seemed like you jumped on Verlander early, but he seemed to have settled down, Jim.
Yeah, he's a little antsy. He didn't get the ball where he wanted to. James in that first inning, he left up over the plate a little bit, although it was 97 miles an hour, probably a ball, but you got to give Grandy credit. He got on top of it.
Tiger manager Jim Leland. He doesn't look like he's having fun, but he does enjoy his job very much. As Martin unable to check his swing, Isonia raises the thumb on him. 0-2 on Russell Martin.
Nasty slider there from Verlander.
Right here is just pure nastiness. Two-seamer that runs up there around 95, 96, ties him up inside. So many things you got to look for when you're facing Verlander. He's got the great hook with the high fastball combination and an awesome changeup. And right there, he just looked overmatched.
MVP chants pouring down from the crowd. Verlander has a chance to win that award. You don't see pitchers have a chance very often. You can bet he'll get some votes. Brett Gardner.
I think the light bulb went on, John.
Yeah, and you knew it was coming for both these pitchers when they settle in and feel comfortable. Usually one double play does that for you, but they've had a few of them to get back on track. They always say when you're facing a great pitcher, if you've got your opportunity to knock him out, you better do it there, because typically you're not going to get as many chances as you would like, and the statistics bear it. I mean, for 3+ runs, the man on the mound is 13-0 when they get him 3 or more runs.
Out the side. 4 in a row for Verlander, and in the 5th, he gets Posada with a breaking ball. Russell Martin goes down swinging, and Gardner a hammer. Goodyear, everything Goodyear has learned, making tires that go the distance, inspires what they roll into yours. Goodyear, more driven. CC Sabathia back on the mound. He'll face Brandon Inge, who doubled to start the third inning. 2-2 game. Inge, Jackson, Santiago. The Tigers ready to turn the lineup over once again.
CC counters with a changeup there. I said that Inge is a dead red hitter, which means in baseball parlance, he loves the fastball.
One thing you'd like to do for the Tigers right now is feed off the emotion of the last inning. He struck out the side. The crowd's trying and begging to get into it. It would go a long way to jump on CC and get the lead against the Yankees. And then you start feeling good in your seats here at Tiger Stadium. Even though CC's not pitching against Verlander, he can feel it. Yeah. He knows when a pitcher that he's going against his team's lineup, when they get on a roll, you've got to match them. You've got to make sure you get yourself in a position where you match them 0 for 0.
Brandon Inge started game 1. He finished game 2 yesterday. In the lineup for his defense, but his bat played big in the third inning. That leadoff double, he scored the first Tiger run. Pitch count, a story for Sabathia, now at 82. Never walked more than 5 in a game in the regular season. Those 5 walks came in the first 3 innings.
And I know it's unfair to make this statement, but really in 3-day span, he's well over 100 now. 25 pitches the first time. You start feeling that drag a little bit, and this is where you got to kick it in. These players train, these pitchers train to go to that next level. Certainly, they're not going to allow CC to throw 130 pitches, but you start running that pitch count up closer to 100.
Really saw this from the first hit of the game, didn't we, with Austin Jackson? Was able to work the count and work a walk. Here, Inge fouling off some nasty pitches down from Sabathia.
Tigers done a nice job really lowering their sights, looking at that pitch down in the zone, which CC is so effective with.
Back up the middle, and Cano can't get it. A base hit. Brandon Inge with his second hit against CC Sabathia. Boy, Jim Leland pulling the right card with Inge. Tom Verducci, the pitch count has to become a story for the Yankees with Sabathia.
Absolutely, and you know, we count those pitches equally, yet the toll that they exact are unequal. For instance, it was not until that last inning that Sabathia was able to work to consecutive batters out of the windup. 36 of his first 63 pitches had to be thrown from the stretch position, and now here he is once again back into the stretch position.
And those are the stress pitches that don't get counted equally when you talk about pitch count. And what I mean by stress pitches is those pitches you've got to make under stressful situations, runners on. I'm not talking about foul balls. You could give up 40 foul balls and it not be the same as trying to make pitches knowing it results in your team putting a 0 up.
Larry Rothschild, the pitching coach, goes to the phone. Bullpen activity for the Yankees. The Yankees have A.J. Burnett scheduled to start game 4 tomorrow. Remember, Phil Hughes is in that bullpen. And it looks like it is going to be a short start for Sabathia. Jackson gets a bunt down. Sabathia goes to first. Sacrifice bunt. Brandon Inge in scoring position now with 1 away.
Boy, just the opposite of what Jackson did before. He gave himself up, laid the bunt down, and sacrificed himself. Nice job.
CC, if he could have got aggressive, he had to play at second base. We're seeing that in the series without taking one little risk. They're taking the sure out, but if he comes up and turns right away, he had him at second base.
Detroit's been more guilty of it this series, but the Yankees and CC guilty here. Gets the ball plenty of time to fire a strike to second base, but chooses the more conservative route.
Well, the Yankees have Rafael Soriano loosening in the bullpen. Santiago, who drove in the first Tiger run in the third, an RBI single, part of that 2-run third. Tigers were able to even it up. That one's hit well, left center, long run. Gardner, that's got a chance, and is way back. One hops off the wall. Inge will score. Ramon Santiago. A double and an RBI. Major production from the 2-hole for the Tigers. Who saw that coming?
Well, the numbers bear it out. He is now 9 for 27 against Sabathia. A little changeup will look like down and in to Santiago, and even the speed of Gardner cannot get to this ball as it one hops the wall. Remarkable power for Santiago, who had only 5 home runs in the regular season.
Gives the Tigers the lead here in the 5th inning. 3-2 Detroit. And Young on the first pitch. Almost in his tracks. Granderson hauls it in for the second out. And here comes Miguel Cabrera. There is Soriano in the bullpen. Probably see Sabathia walk Cabrera here. A base open at first. 90 pitches for Sabathia. Stressful pitches tonight. And they will walk Miguel Cabrera.
To show you how important this game is, Joe is not taking any chances. He's got Soriano up early in this game, trying to shorten the game as much as possible because his starter has really maxed out the type of pitches that you would like to get in the 7th inning with.
Well, that took quite a play from Russell Martin just to keep Santiago at second base. You're not expecting that on a pitch out. Had to go down and block one.
Interesting. CC Sabathia doesn't seem very comfortable in this situation of lobbing the ball into Martin. A lot of pitchers get in that mode. They can throw the ball 95. It's hard for them to throw it 45.
Absolutely. 4 free pitches for Cabrera, and first and second for the Tigers with Victor Martinez coming to the plate.
And this has been the great equalizer for the Tigers all season long. Over 100 walks for Cabrera. Martinez hitting .343 after a walk to Miguel Cabrera.
He has done big damage in spots like this. 2 on, 2 away for Victor Martinez. The Tigers are a remarkable 10 for 24 with runners in scoring position in this series.
Now for CC, you're approaching this. More than likely a pitcher can feel when his sense of this is my 9th inning. This is my last batter. I'm going to do whatever I can to keep it right here. Battle one more time, concentrate on location, and then see what happens the rest of the game. But this is his 9th inning. The hardest thing for guys who are groomed to go 7, 8, 9 innings, it's hard to think I've wasted a lot, or I'm not going to get to go much farther. But this out could be as important as going 2 more innings for your team because of the way and the guy you're pitching against, the way this game has really played itself out.
Third base goes Santiago. Great base running. He was ready to go as soon as it hit the dirt. No chance for Martin to keep him from third base.
Boy, a bit of a nervous. Sorry, Brian. Bit of a nervous pitch there by Sabathia. Great job of Martin to hurl his body in front of that baseball, but certainly could not keep it close enough to stop Santiago, who got a nice secondary lead and took advantage of that ball in the dirt.
Yeah, the big difference right there is his forcing the slider versus coming out naturally. All of this has added up to the reason why it hasn't been as crisp. But you still got to make one more pitch to get out of the inning.
Martinez led the majors this season with 2-strike hitting. Batting average of .299. Remarkable.
Martinez hit .330 overall during the regular season. Bouncer to Rodriguez. Goes to second for the out. Inning is over, but the Tigers have taken the lead. And it is Ramon Santiago who is making a name for himself in 2011. He has 2 RBIs tonight, 3-2 Detroit.
Telecast is presented by authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
Now the Tigers have the lead, 3-2. We go to the 6th, and Justin Verlander is locked and loaded. 4 consecutive strikeouts. Jim Leyland goes with defense now. Don Kelly He'll take over in right field for Maglio Ordonez. That is his typical defensive move when he has a lead. Ramon Santiago has given the Tigers the lead, an RBI double in the 5th. And Verlander back to work. Top of the order for the Yankees: Derek Jeter, Curtis Granderson, Robinson Cano.
See Jeter right there talking to himself, saying stay back. That's easier said than done when a guy throws 97 and has a hook and a slider. The tendency is to want to go out and get the baseball and not trust your hands.
Verlander gave up 2 runs in the first inning. The Yankees were aggressive after Verlander. Derek Jeter on the first pitch of the ball game singled back up the middle. Granderson an RBI triple. Alex Rodriguez had an RBI ground out. Verlander has not given up anything since. Triple digits in the first inning. He's starting to slip into the vintage Verlander this season. The pitcher that led the American League in strikeouts. And a base hit. Derek Jeter takes a hanger back into center field. Runs that streak of 4 consecutive strikeouts. Jeter is aboard. And let's take you back to one of the turning points today. We go back to the first inning run with Granderson at the plate.
Well, we talked about how big the gaps are here, and on this triple to left center field, he had to go about 85 feet. That's about the same mark between home and first. Usually takes runners about less than 4 seconds. That ball was up and down in about 3.5 seconds.
Granderson homered yesterday in Game 2. Now an RBI triple in this division series. Changeup followed by a 98-mile-an-hour fastball.
Well,
and it's 0-2.
You're seeing a guy who knows his mechanics and has perfected it. I mean, you don't have a 24-win campaign just because you got great stuff. You got to be able to time in and time again deliver at the right spot. I really believe he's a guy that if you said, okay, look, results don't matter, strike out 15 a game, he could do it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he'd be a better pitcher. He has that kind of stuff where he can climb the ladder, go low, 4 quadrants that he can pitch to with all 4 pitches. A rare commodity most pitchers would love to have.
Owns 2 no-hitters in his career. His first one was right here at Comerica back in '07. Had one earlier this season. Didn't miss by much. Granderson waiting on the call from Jerry Davis. He got one in his favor.
His no-hitter this year was on the road. As you see this breaking ball, a little up in the strike zone. Good call by Jerry. His no-hitter was on the road. Last time a Tiger had a no-hitter on the road, Jack Morris, in their championship year of '84.
Number 7 for Justin Verlander.
We talked about early in the campaign about the high fastball, but what that high curveball did is just made him a little bit late on this fastball. Now again, 99 miles an hour, and it probably seems a lot firmer than that after you've seen a curveball that breaks at your eyes. But that high fastball and curveball combination, deadly.
The last 5 outs for Verlander have been via the strikeout. Robinson Cano 0 for 2 against Verlander.
Going back to Granderson's at bat, changeup started with, fastball, slider, curveball, fastball low. That was the sequence of pitches that he had to deal with.
All 6 of those RBIs for Cano came in game 1. In the air to left field, Delman Young eases back. And Cano is 0 for 3. Jeter retreats. 2 gone in the inning for Justin Verlander in the 6th. Alex Rodriguez. Hearing it from the Comerica Park crowd. 2 productive at-bats for Rodriguez, or plate appearances, had an RBI ground out of the 1st. Verlander's lone walk in this game was against Rodriguez in the 4th.
This has not been a friendly place for Alex Rodriguez in the postseason. Last time he was here in 2006 in the deciding 4th game, his name was placed in the 8th position in the batting order.
It's interesting. He has struggled physically, but I'll tell you, even though he's not getting hits, he has played a solid third base. Yeah. He's not taken the lack of hitting out to his defense.
And has 2 RBIs in this division series.
Sometimes it doesn't matter what he's hitting, though. You always think he's going to run into one at some point.
He wanted that one. 100 miles an hour for Verlander. And the reaction after the pitch.
I'm just telling you, there's a lot of guns that aren't accurate. This is accurate. This is 100 miles an hour. Ks for Verlander.
And a 3-2 Tiger lead, game 3 of this best-of-5 series. Don Kelly leads off, and he pushes a bunt right past Sabathia. It's a base hit. A bunt single from Don Kelly. Drag bunt right by the big lefty, falling off the mound. Couldn't have rolled it out there any better.
Well, you don't get the flat-out hitter that you have in Ordonez, but the defense replacement Kelly, a very smart player, knew where to bunt that ball. Sabathia, of course, is going to fall towards the third base side, not able to recover, and by the time he gets at his baseball, a base hit for Kelly.
Now, Jim Leland, what he calls his defensive players, Ramon Santiago, Brandon Inge, Don Kelly. Santiago is 2 for 3, 2 RBIs. Brandon Inge has 2 hits. He's 2 for 2. He scored twice. And now Kelly with a bunt single. Peralta the batter. Major production from hitters that don't normally give the Tigers this kind of offense.
Doesn't that happen all the time in the postseason? The guys that are least likely to get the hits in the regular season come up big. They don't try to do too much.
Peralta left field. That ball's well hit. Gardner is back. Cannot get it. It takes an odd bounce off the wall, and this is going to bring a run home. Kelly will score. It's an RBI double for Peralta. 4-2 Detroit.
About you guys, but I was surprised that CC Sabathia went back out there for the 6th inning, and he gets hurt here. You described it right, Brian. Just hits one of those pylons and jumps to Gardner's left, and by that time Kelly can score.
Well, I think part of the reason he's still in the game, 2 of the 3 were left-handed hitters trying to steal another inning, and certainly your guy knows how to pitch out there, but I agree with you, Ron. There's going to be a lot of questions as to if he was done. But I think the left-handed matchup, he's so tough on left-handers.
Girardi looking at Kelly, Peralta, Avila. Kelly and Avila, the left-handed hitters. Don Kelly with a bunt. And now Avila in a position to bunt as well. He struck out twice against Sabathia. Buzz the tower.
One of the toughest jobs. Managing's tough. You got to deal with so many second guessing, so many questions, and in the postseason it's even tougher. But I would think that the hardest part of a manager, when you know your guy all year, you've watched him battle, is when do you finally know that he's had enough?
Manage with your head and not your heart when it comes to a big guy. You wouldn't be here unless Sabathia made his 34 starts. The problem you look at, though, guys, is that you are stuck with a bullpen of Soriano, who hasn't pitched in this series, Robertson, who hasn't pitched in this series, and Rivera, who's thrown 3 pitches in this series. You have a well-rested bullpen that at some point, when do you use them? Do you have to use them?
Joe Girardi said before the game they will pitch tonight. Soriano was up last inning. It's Sabathia who stays. Avila gets a good bunt down. Rodriguez throws him out. What a catch by Cano. That saves a run. It's a sacrifice bunt. A scary throw by Alex Rodriguez. Well, and only the slick glove of Cano able to make that an out.
And he had to sacrifice his foot to make that play. We're going to watch on the replay. Good bunt. Get it to the third baseman. And now watch as the runner and the ball get there at the same time. Watch his foot. And you're going to see him step right on his foot.
The throw is different to first base. He can catch it and get off the bat, but he had to stay that extra beat longer, and it cost him a spiking.
Girardi takes the ball from Sabathia. The Tigers have knocked the big lefty out of the ball game. To close the Yankees out tomorrow. Got a ways to go here, but 5 1/3 for Sabathia. He is out of the game. The Tigers with a great opportunity to tack another one on. Runner at third. Brandon Inge at the plate, just one out. And the Yankees have their infield in as Rafael Soriano is out of the New York bullpen. Soriano was hired to be the setup man, had a 3-year contract this offseason. Eventually moved into a 7th inning role when the Yankees have the lead, but he's pitching here in the 6th. In a big spot. Brandon Inge, 2 hits, 2 runs scored. Led the 3rd off with a double. Led the 5th off with a single. Foul territory. Teixeira will make the catch. Inge cannot deliver. Johnny Peralta.
Well, here's the play at first base as Avila shortens up a little bit, tries to catch the outside part of the base, does, but also catches the foot of Robinson Cano. But you can see Cano seems like he's none the worse for wear, but maybe Avila.
Avila looks like he's hurting and in a little bit of panic mode, wondering if he can get back onto the field. We'll have to wait and see next inning. There's a stressed look on his face. Now the Yankees able to push their defense back into normal depth. 2 outs. Could be a significant out for Soriano if he gets through this inning with no further runs. Austin Jackson back to the top of the order. Jackson batting for the 4th time. And he is 0 for 0. Not an official at-bat here tonight. 2 walks and a sacrifice bunt.
Soriano has gone 2-0 on both the batters, Inge here and Jackson. Sometimes you get your bullpen rested, but sometimes you're rusty.
Well, what Soriano has is that luxury of that nice and easy motion, but then all of a sudden the ball's quick on the hitter.
There it is right there, John. Parlayed a career year in Tampa Bay with 45 saves into a big contract with the Yankees.
And from the closer in Atlanta to the closer with the Tampa Bay Rays. Closer's job not available just yet for the New York Yankees. Tigers got a run in the 5th. Johnny Peralta adding one on here in the 6th. Jackson, a swing and a foul tip, a strikeout for Soriano. He gets through the inning, but the Tigers bring another one in. Johnny Peralta, an RBI double, and the Tigers lead by 2. Now it's time for our Goodyear Superior performance. How about the St. Louis Cardinals? They came back. They beat Cliff Lee, a 5-4 win over the Phillies. Tony La Russa in all his glory. 6 relievers yesterday, 7 pitchers, and managed to navigate the Cardinals to a victory. They are back in action tomorrow, 5 p.m. on TBS. Part of a quadruple header of baseball. Verlander back to work against Mark Teixeira. 4-2 Tigers now after they tacked one on in the 6th inning. Verlander now with 8 strikeouts.
What's interesting about his game, he got in trouble early, but he didn't have to exhaust a lot of pitches to get in trouble. Those were quick runs. CC caught up with him with all the damage control he did in the first couple innings. The pitch count finally got to him, and the Tigers waited it out.
One of the things Jim Leland talked to us about before the game, the fact that Verlander, when he has to go to the big fastball early, and he hit triple digits a couple of times in the first inning, it could affect him late as he moves on in a game in the 6th, 7th, 8th inning. We'll see. Verlander got in trouble early. 2 runs scored. He was in a mess in the first inning and had to go to that big fastball.
How did Teixeira get out of the way of this curveball? In. Nice play by Vila.
Verlander struck out Teixeira in the first. A line out in the 4th for Teixeira.
Well, to your point about him being able to elevate the velocity later in the game, there's some pitchers that smell victory and can't close it out, and then there's the kind that we're seeing on the mound, and it's over when he gets to those points in the game.
Number 9 for Verlander, a career high. In a postseason game, Verlander with his 9th strikeout. And our advanced scouting, we're looking at average fastball. Now, the orange line shows you what he did during the regular season, guys. His cruising speed. Well, he had to go to the fastball early tonight in the blue.
His cruising speed was outstanding for 24 wins, but he's taken it up a notch here in this game against the Yankees in the postseason. Trending upwards, north of his numbers during the year.
Yeah, that's a little, you see that in the sky, don't you? Isn't that what the...
Swisher in the air, Delman Young in foul territory, makes a catch. Verlander 2 up, 2 down in the 7th.
I think that was more like the Star of Orion.
Yeah.
Jorge Posada with 2 away. A 2-run deficit for the Yankees feels a lot different away from Yankee Stadium, especially here in Detroit, in this pitcher-friendly ballpark, and especially with that man on the mound.
Jorge looking for a fastball and just was not able to stay back. At 88-mile-an-hour changeup kept him off balance, just fouled it off.
Verlander with 7 strikeouts in the last 10 batters he's faced. Looking for a 1-2-3 inning in the 7th. That's his best fastball of the night. Posada draws a walk. Well, what an at-bat. You see the cluster. He's right around the strike zone, but cannot get the call. Verlander issues a walk. That is just his second walk. And Posada continues his division series success. On once again, on twice tonight. 2 outs for Russell Martin, the Yankee catcher.
That was a great at bat. He never got anxious, never jumped out at any of those pitches. I could say the one curveball he took was so good it didn't matter. Luckily, it was a ball.
Hit him with 100. And the Yankees suddenly with 2 outs, 2 men aboard. And back to your point, John, that you were talking about with Verlander early, getting amped up, wanting to finish this inning off.
Well, I think this happened before this hit by pitch of Martin. It happened with Posada. Got to 0-2. The crowd got up. He wanted to end that inning with a strikeout. Could not get it. Great at bat by Posada and lost his way there with Martin.
And now the Yankees with 2 on. Tying run is at first at Russell Martin. And Brett Gardner representing the go-ahead run here in the 7th inning. Gardner bunted for a single in the 3rd inning. Verlander struck him out in the 5th. Now a few that have gotten away from Justin Verlander.
Yeah, a little trip to the mound right here just to get it reset. Things were going along real good. Jeff Jones is going to come out and just get him back to the basic of sometimes just need a little 5-10 second timeout here.
Sometimes, John, you expend so much energy trying to go for that punch out. Kind of sucks the air out of what you're trying to do out there.
Well, and this probably doesn't happen a lot of times with him. You get that crowd going. You want that crowd to get to the next level, the next octave. And the only way to do that is to, of course, punch him out.
Jeff Jones has had his say. Maybe if nothing else, just a breather for Verlander. We'll reset it here. 2 on for the Yankees. A walk and a hit batter. Tying run aboard. Gardner at the plate. Gardner gave the Yankees a big hit in Game 1. What people will remember about Game 1 is Robinson Cano's grand slam. But it was Gardner's 2-out, 2-strike, 2 RBI single that stretched the Yankee lead to 4-1 at the time. At the top of the order, coming up next, Derek Jeter is on deck. And it goes full. Tigers take off. Gardner into the gap, left center field. That's a big hit. Posada will come in to score. And racing right behind him, Russell Martin. The throw gets away on the cutoff, and the Yankees have tied it as Brett Gardner delivers again in the clutch. A two-out rally by the Yankees, all even at 4.
Well, this stadium is in shock, and I'm sure Mr. Verlander in shock. A good pitch, but he worked the count to 3-2 and was able to go with it, didn't try to pull it, and certainly found the gap. The gaps are bigger here than anywhere else probably in baseball, and he and the Yankees have squared this thing off again.
The difference is the 3-2 count. Martin running, that's the only way you can score on that baseball.
2 RBI double for Brett Gardner. And now Gardner in scoring position, representing the go-ahead run, Derek Jeter. What a 2-out success for the Yankees. It's been a big part of their offense in this series so far. And most of it coming from Brett Gardner.
There's a lot of points you can go to in a game and go, that might be a turning point, that might not. Runner on third, 1 out, inch up, chance to increase the lead. Didn't happen. 2-out Lightning here, and we're all tied.
Well, nothing's 100%, but any base hit by Jeter here just about guarantees the fast Gardner will score.
Breaking ball from Verlander. Well, Justin Verlander was cruising. He was right on the edge of finishing this inning off in style, but the Yankees get a walk, a hit batter, and a double. They've tied it.
Well, from the 0-2 count with 2 outs, he's had to exhaust about 14, 15 pitches to get that final out. Still hasn't gotten it.
The Yankees have 6 hits against Verlander. Jeter with 2 of them. And down he goes. Verlander strikes out Derek Jeter, but Brett Gardner deals Verlander a big blow. A double, 2 RBIs. The New York Yankees are back. They've tied it. have a full slate of MLB postseason games. Coverage begins on TBS at 1:30 p.m. Eastern with MLB On Deck, presented by Chrysler. Texas at Tampa Bay. That's game 4 of that series on TBS. Philadelphia, St. Louis on TBS at 5. We are back here for game 4 on TBS, and the Brewers and the Diamondbacks on TNT. All tied at 4. What a ball game. Verlander, Sabathia giving up some runs. The offense has had their say. Ramon Santiago leads off against Soriano. Santiago has driven in 2 of the 4 Detroit runs. He's 2 for 3 tonight. All these superstars in both of these lineups, MVP candidates. And it's guys like Gardner and Santiago and Brandon Inge having the big games. Gardner ties it up with a 2-strike double. Well, Soriano came on in the 6th inning. Joe Girardi went with Sabathia in that 6th inning with a couple of left-handers coming up. And Soriano was able to get out of the inning, got the final 2 outs of the 6th. Santiago in the air. Alex Rodriguez in foul territory. There's out number 1 for Soriano, and he's done a nice job. Well, now Soriano will go to work in the middle of this Tigers order. Delman Young and Cabrera to follow. Young has a hit. He's 1 for 2 with a walk and a single in the 3rd inning.
Be careful on the first pitch right here.
First pitch swinging, a drive to right. Way back there. Swisher looks up, and it is gone! A home run for Delman Young. The Tigers have the lead.
A first pitch anything hitter, and you had to throw a little wrinkle right there, but his fastball's been good all night. He goes with the pitch and gets the big home run.
Cabrera trying to do the same. Delman Young, late season acquisition, mid-August the Tigers got him from the Twins. The 2nd home run of this ALDS.
I guess he just had to get out of that Twins uniform.
This is our 4th day, but only 3rd game. We've seen everything you can imagine in a series with 2 heavyweights. And it's really been remarkable to watch. And I think what that home run did for Verlander is it gave him 25 more pitches.
Jeff Jones on the phone to the Tiger bullpen. See how the Tigers play it the rest of the way. Cabrera at the plate, and a swing and a high fly ball center field. On the run, Granderson at the track, and he makes the catch. Death Valley out there, 420 feet to hit one out at Comerica, and a long, loud out for Miguel Cabrera.
This is a shagging dream right here in BP for getting your exercise in, but not so much during the game. Center fielders are very important in this ballpark.
And Granderson knows this center field about as well as anyone. The former Tiger made a nice play. 2 outs. Here's Victor Martinez.
Soriano was out for much of the year this year with a sore right elbow. And his numbers in the postseason are not very good. 13 outs he's recorded. 3 home runs in those 13 outs.
Delvin Young got him for a home run, giving the Tigers the lead. And Martinez on the ground to Jeter, and he'll make the play for the out. The inning is over, but Delvin Young delivers another big blow to the Yankees. His second home run of the series. 5-4 Tigers. Take a look at the language of the game brought to you by Foster's. And tonight we're talking about MLB OPS leaders. That is on-base percentage plus slugging percentage. Added together, only Jose Bautista better than Miguel Cabrera, an MVP candidate. League average is .731. That's how good Cabrera was. And his teammate, Delvin Young, gives the Tigers a 5-4 lead. Verlander back on the mound to start the 8th inning. A strike to Granderson. Verlander has 10 strikeouts now. Yankees get 2 runs in the top of the 7th inning. Brett Gardner with a 2-out, 2-strike, 2 RBI double to even it up before Young gives the Tigers the lead once again.
Earlier in the day, Jeff Daniels was here playing the guitar, and to steal a line from him in my favorite movie, Verlander has a chance to totally redeem himself. Dumb and Dumber, favorite movie.
Sometimes it's not fair. 3 changeups all around 86, 87 miles an hour. 2-1. Throws one in there, fastball inside corner.
That's hit well right field. Going back, Don Kelly with room. Don Kelly makes the catch as we kick it down to Tom Verducci.
Yeah, there was an interesting moment there in the 7th inning with an 0-2 count on Jorge Posada. Obviously, Justin Verlander was cruising, retiring 10 of 11 batters at that point. And watch what happens here. We talk about hitters disrupting a pitcher by stepping out of the box. He drops this ball. It takes him off the mound. He's got to go pick it up. Now, Justin's a guy who likes to work very quickly, hardly ever leaves the area of the rubber. Not to say the rest of the inning fell apart from that, but we do talk about hitters disrupting a pitcher. In that case, a drop ball might have got him out of his rhythm just a bit.
Let's see if Verlander is back at it. Remember, Verlander with 2 outs, nobody on before that Posada walk. Pitch count 107. Robinson, Cano. And now Verlander ahead of him 0-2. He's handled Cano tonight. Cano is 0 for 3 with a strikeout against Verlander.
And it bends back over the middle of the plate. Cano thought that ball was up in the strike zone. Davis saw it as a strike.
Justin Verlander even has Jerry Davis in ring-up mode right now.
Everyone in the Yankees lineup has struck out at least once in tonight's game.
11 Ks for Verlander. Alex Rodriguez with 2 away. It has to be going through Jim Leland's mind right now, even though Verlander's pitch count is up there. But imagine what a complete game would do for the Tigers. After Benoit goes 2 yesterday, Jose Valverde had a long 30-plus pitch inning to finish it out yesterday. And it's imperative that Verlander retires Alex Rodriguez. It's going to be a big decision for the manager of the Tigers after this inning.
Well, I can tell you there's not a lot of teams that would be able to play this game as close as they have. The Yankees and their superstars, they've been there, done that. They've scratched and crawled and kept this game close. That's what makes these games so special this time of the year. These guys have the flair for the dramatic.
Alex Rodriguez and Mark Teixeira in the middle of that Yankees order, just 1 for 20 in this series. Rodriguez with a green light. So there's an answer. Benoit throwing now. You've got Valverde, the closer, perhaps preparing for the ninth. Hitters count for Rodriguez. Another one in triple digits.
Since Nolan Ryan have I ever seen anything like this late in the game.
101. If you're Alex Rodriguez, you have to be sitting on a fastball in a spot like this. 3-2 the count. 2 outs in the 8th. And he lost him. Verlander issues a 2-out walk. Terrific at bat, Alex Rodriguez. Well, aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Everything Goodyear has learned making tires that go the distance inspires what they roll into yours. Goodyear, more driven. Largest crowd in Comerica Park postseason history. 43,581, and a thriller tonight. Now the go-ahead run at the plate. Mark Teixeira.
Teixeira's had some good swings his last 2 at bats, despite striking out in his last at bat. He's been on that fastball.
Tying run at first and Rodriguez. And a good block back there. Alex Avila. Well, we take you back to opening day, March 31st. Verlander trying to get a high fastball by Teixeira, and he hits one out. Teixeira in his career 3 for 25 lifetime against Verlander. With that 1 home run. And that one's in the air. Inge is back. Brandon Inge settles under it. Justin Verlander is through 8, and the Tigers still lead. Spotlight is brought to you by the Nissan Versa sedan. Innovation upsized, innovation for all. And it is David Robertson on the mound for the Yankees. So good this year. He strikes out a ton of batters. Only Al Albuquerque of the Tigers, who we saw earlier in this series, with more. But Robertson is a strikeout machine. What a season he had for Joe Girardi in 2011.
Well, you just can't pick up the ball as a hitter, and he has this cut fastball, not quite like Mariano, but pretty close. And the hitter's seeing a straight over the top late life fastball that is approaching them actually faster than what the gun will say.
Don Kelly leads off for the Tigers.
Been a few people struggling with the mound a little bit.
Yeah.
Soriano looked back a few times. When you come out of the pen, the hardest thing to do is your stride length's already been set by the previous pitchers. Two pitchers that had long stride lengths. So as a closer, you got to get ready quicker to the mound out there than anybody else.
Remember the 6'8" CC Sabathia doing a lot of that damage on the mound. Don Kelly, Johnny Peralta, Alex Avila. Tigers on a home run by Delman Young have the lead 5-4. David Robertson, a Mariano Rivera-like season this year. He gave up just 8 earned runs all season in 70 games for the Yankees. 8 runs at a 1.08 earned run average. Look out. Right into the Tiger dugout. And it almost hit Justin Verlander. Verlander looks done. He is not in game mode. Look out. I think that got him.
Did get him.
Got him on the shoulder. Not on the moneymaker, but still hit him. And a strikeout for David Robertson. One gone in the 8th. So Justin Verlander gets through the 8th inning. And on his way in, Jim Leland. The handshake and high fives, and that's it.
The hug from Martinez, and still intense as he goes down to that gauntlet of high fives.
And for those of you again that don't understand why was this a more difficult start than a normal one, is what took place.
That hits Peralta. Robertson hits Peralta, and the Tigers with a base runner with 1 out of the 8th.
And what I was talking about is we look at this cutter that didn't cut. It actually went the other way. It caught him.
Hit Peralta in the same place that Russell Martin was hit, but you know that's no answer for that in this one-run game.
The point I was trying to make is the fact that these guys had to overcome the mental part of their routine change, and both guys battled. I don't think anyone realizes how hard it was to go out here and deal with just the different atmosphere of throwing a game, starting, 2 days later, starting again.
CC Sabathia went 5 1/3, 7 hits, 4 runs. He walked 6. No decision for Sabathia. Right now, the loss would belong to Rafael Soriano, giving up the home run to Delman Young in the 7th inning. Alex Avila. A Crimson Tide matchup here. David Robertson and Alex Avila on the same team at Alabama. With college ball together. David Robertson's last year at Alabama was Avila's first year. And Avila wasn't a catcher back then. He was a third baseman.
The stinginess you talked about in Robertson's year. 1 run on the road. 36 innings. That's it. 1 run.
He was an all-star this season as a setup man. And Joe Girardi forced to use him with the Yankees down. Jose Valverde will have the 9th for the Tigers. Their big closer, who struggled yesterday but did finish the game. And a Tiger win. 3 outs away from going up 2-1 in this series. Takes off, hit and run on as Avila fouls it away.
Too bad he fouled it. He had a great jump, but that's part of the deal when you don't.
Watching both Soriano here and Robertson, both the same. Their stuff seems great. They seem a little rusty though, both of them with their command.
Robertson's first appearance. And Avila works it into a full count. And now we'll watch Peralta at first base. You wonder if he's running with one away. Well, the Tigers would love to stay out of the double play. Alex Avila still looking for his first hit of the postseason. Peralta takes off, and Avila pulls one right to Teixeira. And that'll advance Peralta to second. 2 gone in the Tiger 8th inning. So you can catch all the action of the 2011 Major League Baseball Division Series on TBS. Join the postseason debate at MLBFancave.com and follow the action on Twitter with the hashtag postseason. Legends are born in October. 2 outs, bottom of the 8th. Tigers hoping to tack one on. Done a good job at that in this series, at least in their victory yesterday and so far tonight. And an add-on run in the 6th. Delman Young's home run in the 7th inning gave the Tigers the lead.
I think that conversation right there was about the fastball attacking Brandon Inge and try to stay away from that first pitch, thinking he's going to take. He loves that first pitch. See if we see any breaking balls.
And the first pitch breaking ball indeed from Robertson. What a night for Inge. A double in the 3rd. He scored a run. He singled and scored in the 5th. 2 hits from the 9-hole hitter in the batting order for Jim Leyland tonight. Inge right to Rodriguez, a bobble, but recovers to get the out. The Tigers 3 outs away from a 2-1 series advantage over the Yankees. Jack McBrayer. Don't miss it. Conan next after MLB postseason coverage only on TBS. Great ball game tonight at Comerica Park. The Tigers have the lead. Delvin Young with a home run in the 7th inning, and it is 5-4. Jose Valverde last night, tongue-in-cheek, but he said it's over already. Verlander has it. The next day we have the celebration in Detroit. They have a good team, but I think that's it for them. We're not coming back to New York, is what he said. Phil Koch was sitting right next to him and said, "Are you sure you want to say that?"
Well, he's going to have to deal with Swisher because the first batter he faced yesterday on the first pitch, Swisher took him deep.
A 34-pitch inning for Valverde yesterday. And Swisher lays off, but this was the home run from yesterday. The first pitch he saw from Valverde. Long home run for Nick Swisher. That started the 9th. The Yankees scored 2 against Valverde. There were 2 walks in that inning as well. Papa Grande, Jose Valverde.
Verlander had 24 wins on the season this year, 13 of them saved by Papa Grande.
I never put stock in warm-up pitches. Never do. But in the warm-ups leading into this inning, he was missing arm side, which means away from the left-hander, not getting down through the pitch. 2-0 pitch. Look for Swisher to look one part of the plate. He makes a mistake in. We could have a repeat of yesterday.
And Swisher pops it up. Foul territory. Brandon Inge. One down. Had a pitch to hit, and he missed it.
That ball right down the middle, John.
He had his chance. The barrel just dropped below the zone. He was thinking home run.
So far in this season, in this series, sorry, no one's swinging the bat better than Jorge Posada.
Posada, 1 for 2 with a walk. Has 4 hits in this series in the first 3 games. 4 for 8. It was Posada who tripled against Valverde yesterday. His first career postseason triple.
Triple as a 40-year-old.
Well, the oldest to do it. There's A.J. Burnett. He's got game 4 for the Yankees tomorrow. Tigers 2 outs away from a 2-1 advantage.
He's got a fastball and a split finger. At some point breaks out the split finger. The other night when it was raining, said he had trouble with the split finger with the grip because it was slipping. Not tonight.
Posada a little late. Valverde has him and a ball and 2 strikes.
What a funny delivery. Really spins off that landing leg, and right now he's standing a little too tall. I mean, he's going to finish upright anyways. Getting underneath the fastball. Every one of them been up. Be a good count maybe for the split finger. It's a field pitch. You got to know when you leave the pen if it's been working as you warm up there.
I do have to say, Brian, sorry, after that 34-pitch effort yesterday, does not have a lot of zip on his fastball here tonight.
Well, remember, Posada drew a key walk against Verlander in the 7th inning. That kept the inning alive. The Yankees would score 2 to tie it before Young's home run put the Tigers back ahead. Payoff pitch. And Posada walks again. Boy, 2 great at-bats for Jorge Posada. And now Valverde with a man on. The go-ahead run will come to the plate. Stay tuned for Inside MLB, presented by Captain Morgan. Matt Weiner, Cal Ripken, Dennis Eckersley, and David Wells will bring you highlights of today's games, post-game analysis.
Sometimes when you're having trouble getting the ball down, you face 2 left-handers. You can frame it in a little better against a right-hander. He's got to get the ball down. This is a good double play opportunity. He's got to finish down in the zone.
Posada lifted for a pinch runner. As Russell Martin will bat, Eduardo Nunez will run for the Yankees. He is the tying run. And Martin hits one high in the air to right field. Back is Don Kelly at the track with room. Nunez tags. He'll stop. Kelly's got a gun. And that keeps the tying run out of scoring position. 2 gone in the inning for Valverde.
Nice bid by Martin. Long drive to right field, but Kelly did not assume anything. Got back on that baseball and was ready to throw once he caught it to keep Nunez at first base.
A cannon from the wall in right field. That could be a big play, especially with Gardner coming up. He's been the Yankees' best clutch hitter so far. And a 2-out, 2 RBI double back in the 7th inning. Yankees down to their last out.
He has been clutch, and he won't swing at the high pitch, so he's going to have to think one area of the plate.
Valverde takes plenty of the time in between pitches.
Every hitter knows his antics. They know what he's capable of doing and getting the final out. You don't want to be that guy, and you don't want to see him dance.
Runner goes. The throw to second, and safe is the call. Nunez steals second base. It's a good throw from Avila. Nunez got a great jump, and he puts himself into scoring position anyway.
And a good job here by Gardner. Look at him stick the bat right in front of the catcher so he doesn't come out quick enough. He has to stay back and receive the ball, and it makes it tougher to throw to second base.
Valverde really ignored Nunez there. Just a great jump. No play at second base. Nice slide to the outside part of the bag. In scoring position.
And now Brett Gardner with a base hit could tie it up.
He will hit the ball, pull the ball with more power than he will going the other way. Left field and center field's kind of in shallow. Right fielder has to respect that power a little bit farther back.
All 3 outfielders for the Tigers with good arms.
His discipline at the plate. He will not swing at that high pitch. And so far this inning has been filled with high pitches. Deep counts, 2-0. Hitters counts. Getting by right now. Not with a formula you want to get by with much longer, Ron.
Well, we'll see if Gardner has the green light on a 3-0 pitch. We saw A-Rod take a hack 3-0 back in the 8th inning. He takes ball 4. The go-ahead run is aboard. The Yankees with plenty of speed on the bags now. First and second with 2 outs. 2 walks in the inning for Jose Valverde. 49 consecutive saves during the regular season. Now Derek Jeter.
Seen Jeter go to right field so much in his career. Nice little gap between first and second. He's been clutch.
Santiago holding the runner. Nunez close. Opening up that hole. Jeter looked like he took a shot for a big fly right there on that first pitch.
All fastballs been up. We haven't seen an off-speed pitch.
There's Phil Cote, the former Yankee, hard-throwing left-hander. Valverde struck out Jeter yesterday. It was the second out of that 9th inning. And a strike. 0-2 on Jeter.
The best pitches from this entire inning.
Yeah, everything's been to that side of the plate. Arm side has been where the ball is leaking, and he found the inside corner against Jeter. Caught him a little off guard.
Tying run at second. Go ahead run at first. Yankees down to their last strike.
Jeter trying to cover that outside corner, that ball running up and in. Able to get out of the way. This is a tracer. This ball just seems to want to follow you as you get out of the way.
Exactly where Valverde wanted to throw it.
Well, if he had a big curveball, this would be the place to throw it. But we haven't seen a curveball on him. It's been all fastballs. It's been delivery and leg kick.
Jeter looking for his first hit with runners in scoring position. 0 for 4. 3 Ks.
Even Derek Jeter took a deep breath after that pitch. Close.
Little split finger down in the strike zone.
Valverde was getting ready to start the lawnmower right there.
Stalled.
It did. That was a great pitch.
And a swing and a miss. The Tigers have won it. A 2-1 advantage. Valverde closes it out. 5-4 Detroit. Young with the go-ahead home run in the 7th. Valverde comes on to close it out. Verlander, 8 innings, 11 Ks. And Papa Grande does his dance and gives the Tigers a 2-1 advantage heading for Game 4 tomorrow.
Everything to the right side of the plate. He tried to go in with everything. Fastball up. That might have been the pitch he needed to hit. Another fastball. Trying to go up a little bit too high. He throws a great split finger here. Doesn't get the call. Doesn't panic. Goes back up. And a soon-to-be Dancing with the Stars move. He didn't really give us much there. I don't know.
Just happy with a save. How about 50 out of 50 in save opportunities in 2011 for Jose Valverde? What a moment. What a ball game here.
Well, Verlander's 25th win of the season, 14 of them now saved by Valverde, and an outstanding game. Back and forth these teams fought. The Yankees came back hard with a score 4-2, able to push around a couple of runs to get this even. But it was the home run by Delmon Young that was the difference for the Tigers.
Delmon Young's second home run of this American League Division Series. It was a 7th-inning home run on the first pitch he saw from Soriano in that at-bat in the 7th, and he ripped one over the fence in right field. And they're all lit up in Detroit. We send it down to Tom Verducci.
Thank you. I'm here with Justin Verlander. Justin, you had that abbreviated start on Friday. You start tonight with 22 pitches and 2 runs in the first inning, 120 pitches in all. Talk about the physical grind of getting through this game.
You know, there's so much adrenaline in a situation like this. You know, it's really a non-issue. You know, it's a little out of rhythm in the first, and then found it, and then lost it for 3 batters. And, you know, it shows what this lineup can do. I lost my rhythm for 3 batters, and then scored 2 runs and tied the game. But this team has a never-say-die attitude. We've done it all year. We've come from behind. We've held leads. We've done everything we had to do, and tonight's another example of that.
And after you lost the rhythm and that lead with those 2 runs, you were barely back in the dugout, and Delmon Young comes up, first pitch home run.
Amazing. What an acquisition he's been. He's been such a great teammate, such a great you know, acquisition for us in this lineup. It just extends our lineup even farther. And what a stud. I mean, what an at-bat.
9th inning, you've seen it all year long with Jose Valverde. He somehow manages to make perfection look a little complicated. You're used to that.
You know, every now and again he does that, but you know, we've got the utmost faith in him. He's done it all year long. And what a job he did, especially after throwing 30-some pitches last night. You know, that's not easy. And what a great job.
Tomorrow you'll give the ball to Rick Porcello a chance to close out this series at home. Tell us about that situation.
Well, Rick's you know, a sinker baller. He's going to go out there and he's going to get ground balls, and you know, I think that plays into our favor. You know, hopefully we can score a bunch of runs early and get him comfortable and get him rolling and close the series out tomorrow.
Justin, thank you.
All right, thanks.
Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Tom. Thank you, Justin Verlander, for staying late with us. Interesting thoughts. You know, the Tigers, they just don't give up leads when they lead late. 85-0 now. They lead after 8 innings, 5-4 the final score. And you heard Verlander reference the home run by Delmon Young on the first pitch. He gives the Tigers the advantage they were looking for, a home run to right field. Delmon Young, acquired in mid-August from the Twins for the Tigers.
Well, like I said, first pitch fastball, he jumps on it, uses the velocity of Soriano. This was a classic game, maybe not in a perfect world, 1-0, 2-1,
yeah.
But both teams played hard. Gutty performance by both pitchers. My hat's off from watching a real 2 championship teams.
Well, think about Delmon Young. Came on the waiver wire. They got him over here. He's become their 3rd-place hitter. 8 home runs in the regular season, now 2 in the postseason.
And a big one here tonight. 5-4 the final score. The Tigers beat the Yankees. They lead this series 2-1. The Yankees will have A.J. Burnett with their season on the brink going tomorrow. Be sure to tune in tomorrow on TBS for a full slate of postseason games. Coverage begins at 1:30 p.m. Eastern with MLB On Deck, presented by Chrysler. For Ron Darling, John Smoltz, Tom Verducci, and the rest of our crew, I'm Brian Anderson saying good night from Detroit. TBS, your exclusive home for the entire division series of the National League Championship Series. After the break, stay tuned for Inside MLB, presented by Captain Morgan. Remember to drink responsibly. A Tiger win. See you tomorrow.